got some talented players, but they just have to get the combinations working. Our referee is from Japan. There's Tom Mitchell, 35th as the 35th tournament. Nori Hashimoto from Japan gets us underway, and that one is not going to go the required 10 metres, so not the start that Tom Mitchell was looking for. Alongside me is Rob Vickerman. Tom will be disappointed with that.
Yeah, very much so. Did the same in the first game. He's got very high standards, and it's a massive part of the game now, giving Russia the ball straight away. But they took on the physical Samoans and came through that game, expected very much the same from the Russians. They target breakdowns to try and make it an arm wrestle. This England team are experienced with lots of balance. I expect to see a good performance.
And so Russia on the charge down the left flank. Human Davidov into the 22. Sozanov across field. Went backwards. Filatov sets it up again. Offloads. Shivatov up to the 22. Loose carry there. And so we're going to have a scrum on the 22.
I like it. You keep an eye on the man with the blue scrum on, Richard Carpentier, the Englishman who targets every single Russian in front of him. He just runs hard. The man doesn't open doors, he runs through them, and it's a real thing you need when you're playing in a game of sevens. You need that physicality to get amongst the big Russians, because they're going to come at you all day. You need to counter that with a bit of spice yourself.
Point.
England beat Samoa 19-7 first up on day one. Russia losing 26-5 to New Zealand. And these second games on day one are crucial games. And through the hands it goes. Lindsay Haig back on the inside. Tom Mitchell, nobody in front of him. Terrific work, England. 5 points to nil. Kick to come.
As Tom Mitchell walks back, he knows he's got to give big raps to both his forwards and Ollie Lindsay Haig here. The man that was born with a goose step gets on the outside of a lovely little rap play by Charlie Hayter. What a shot that is. Perfect precision, running at full tilt. Tom Mitchell gets his knees up and gets a score under the posts.
And he adds the extra 2, so another milestone for Tom Mitchell here in Dubai. He's moved into the 900s, takes his personal point scoring tally to 906. Still a long way behind Ben Gollings and Dan Norton, but a terrific performer over recent years. The Great Britain captain at Rio. So it is 7 points to nil. Hang time there. Play on. Oh, and an awkward landing for Phil Burgess. The penalty goes against Phil after all that. And the flag is out here, so maybe someone's in trouble.
Call. A call.
Penalty goes to England.
A little bit of luck there, not much in that. I mean, Phil Burgess is committed to it. I hope he replaces his divots, because that's one hell of a landing as he comes up. Oh, everyone's feeling that one.
Well, he's back on the right wing, and Mitchell gives it to Lindsay Haig, back to Mitchell. And straight running here from Charlie Hayter. And over on the far side is the flyer. Dan Norton, clinical stuff from England.
Deservedly celebrates first of all with Charlie Hayter there. Gave it on absolute play. If you want to make friends with your winger and you're a centre, you give him passes like this. All he has to do is finish it off, but great work by Hayter. I said midweek, said looking a bit bigger. He's clocking the scales at 102 kilograms at the moment. That is by far bigger than his natural frame would suggest, but Charlie Hayter, powerful centre on a plate for Dan Norton.
Mitchell from out wide, good connection and good direction as well. It's over, so it is 14 points to nil. Dan Norton, 212, so fourth on the all-time try scorers list. Colin Gingira, who is not in Dubai with the Kenyan team, leading the way, 235. Still plenty of time for your old teammate Dan Norton to close the gap.
Yeah, helps if you're last man standing at that chart. Another poor kick from Tom Mitchell.
But the Russian team decide to play on a wild pass, and it's been picked up by England. And a beautiful offload, but Hayter just couldn't control it. He's disappointed with that.
Lovely offload, McConaughey there. Inside, outside, round the back. The poor flag in the corner, feeling the wrath of Charlie Hayter there.
Throw into the line-out. Good two-handed take from Dmitry Sukin. Filatov goes to ground. Penalty goes to Russia. Roman Roshkin, a good touch finder. The England coach, Simon Amor, knocking on. He's been very relaxed in the build-up to this, knowing full well that England had a good start last year, getting through to the final, and he's got a lot of experienced players back on deck for this year.
Yeah, very much so. I mean, in a case where it was a real building year for the England team, looking obviously at the GB scenarios end of the year, it was a frustrating year for Simon, and he's come into this all guns blazing.
So Russia, switch of play. Davidov fires it over to Sukin, and they go over on the right-hand side, and it was a good tackle in the end from McConaughey. And England win the penalty. They take it quickly. Good work in midfield. They fell for the dummy. And Ollie Lindsay-Haig gets a well-deserved try. Good reward for his efforts.
It's a big opportunity for him. He knows he's behind Dan Bibby. It's a tough place to be. Dan Bibby, one of the consistent performers, but this is what he's all about. He's so deceptive with the ball in two hands. Coaching point as always. Charlie Hayter using every ounce of his frame to run a lovely line there. That two defenders bought, creating the space for that man Lindsay-Haig. As he grimaces when he scores it, knows maybe there's a little bit of crossing there, but I think it was so clear of Hayter's line. It was the defenders coming into him rather than Hayter blocking the actual line.
21 points to nil, England over Russia. Tom Mitchell gets the 10 metres this time. Knocked back by Russia. Davidov, and into touch it goes. Knocked on anyway, and that is half-time in this Pool C encounter. England in control and well on the way to booking a spot in the top 8 to keep their gold medal hopes alive in Dubai. 21-0, England over Russia, half-time.
Defensively, pretty good. Let's just note they're going to do that gas off the line out. So let's just try and make sure we're staying connected, not giving everyone that inside kind of shoulder. Really good. Just try and get off the back a bit quicker, I guess. Yeah, I was watching that come down. Got that sorted out now. Great stuff.
A little bit tighter, and then you'll be higher in the middle, and you can be more aggressive at the end. If you end up being slidey, they're going to step very strong on you.
9, what's the 9 skills on scrums? There we are, happy with that? Okay, attack-wise, really good. Nice and aggressive, recognise when to play flat. Love it.
Just for the
So we're set for the second half. It's going to be Russia kicking off. Russia, one of the 15 core teams of the HSBC Sevens World Series. Dubai, the first of 10 stops. Change for England. Alex Davis is on there in 12. And Lindsay Haig gets it across to Mitchell through the hands of Davis, and then a switch of play from right hand side right over to the left, and Norton controlled him pretty well. Good fend coming in from McConaughey, and back on the inside Richard de Carpentier. They drag him down. Good tackle from Roman Roshkin, but it's still on for England. Lindsay Haig trying to step his way through, gets it back to Mitchell. He floats one right over on the far side, and it's a simple run in there for Phil Burgess.
Quality stuff.
Don't get much don't get any easier than that, do they?
They don't. He's finishing off some simple work, as you mentioned there, Clarkie. And the fact they're making it look simple means they're absolutely on point with their accuracy. Phil Burgess finishing off after 3 really good widths of play. As soon as you start passing the ball wide to wide, it's so difficult to defend it. You're clocking 60 metres per leg in the middle, and the Russians simply cannot cover all the pitch.
There's the conversion attempt. Not successful. So England 26 points to 0 after the Burgess try, and Dan Bibby comes from the bench. Ethan Waddleton also making his way out there in jersey 11. Dan Bibby became a dad in the off-season. His partner Katie and son Jasper made the trip to Dubai. Knocked back and straight into the hands of the new man Waddleton. Into the 22. Norton to Burgess, and then Lindsay Haig over and out to Davis. Clear under the line, into the corner he goes. Terrific to see Alex Davis stretching out like that, robbed of an opportunity to play in the Olympic Games in Rio, ruled out a couple of days prior, and here he is on the score sheet in Dubai.
Tough year all round for that man Davis. We said about his resilience. That showed in abundance, but what a ball here. Lindsay Haig, standard hitch kick, ball in 2 hands, has a look and fires an absolute peach on the wide out. Davis looking like one of the Mario brothers there, dots down on the left hand side. Awesome to see that man playing again.
So the try scorer Alex Davis, and the conversion not successful. It's December, folks, but England still think it's Movember. Still wearing their moustache, still trying to raise money for a very good cause. (31-0). No joy for Russia. Big James Rodwell on there as well. Kick through, the chase is on. Kaplan needed a good bounce, keeps it on the toe, gets the bounce now, puts on the footwork, links up all, but it wasn't a great pass. It's gone forward. Ilya Babayev just couldn't control that one. Wasted opportunity.
Babayev would have done amazingly well to have held that one. Odell Beckham Jr. style if he picked that out the air, but difficult pass to take. But what a break, you know, it shows they've got the capabilities, Russian team. The scoreline is not flattering, clearly. They're without their key playmakers and big men, Ostrushko and Sipakevich, but certainly showing little glimpses. Times like that, get in amongst it, you've got to be accurate. That pass just not quite there. As you see with the stats, tackling not quite on point for them either.
Crouch. 1. Set.
Lindsay Haig. The put in. Gives it to Bibby. So can they go coast to coast? Bowen on the 22. Waddleton to Bibby. Switch of play. Waddleton Pretty sloppy, really, from England, so they turn it over. And now Davidoff floats one over the top. And getting away and scoring in the corner is Dmitry Sukin from the Krasny Yar club. And he's on the score sheet for the first time in Dubai.
Just taking the tempo off the point in the middle, keeping the ball alive. Lovely miss pass on the wide side there. And if you manage to evade James Rodwell's wingspan, you've got some serious wheels. Lovely passing. You see how it's thrown across in front of where the man's going, drifts out onto the ball, and even Rodwell's fingers can't get near him.
Conversion from out wide. Handy attempt. It's very good. Over it goes. 31-7. And it's tries like that, moments like that, that's just going to give the Russians some much-needed confidence as they try to build into this series. The newcomers, really.
And it's a long year for them, isn't it, Clark? You know, they're going to have to take these experiences, bring players through, get a bigger pool, and go forward.
Good take, Davis. And Bibby across to Rodwell. He's recovered from a shoulder injury. Just pops one over to Burgess, and then the switch of play to Bibby. Waddleton, and out here, oh, it's forward. Just as they were looking good, Tom Bowen. Call back.
Well, we're not going to get into relative velocity, but the difference being there. When Lindsay Haig threw the first one, he kept moving forwards. On this one, you see how static he ends up. Because he stops, the pass is seemed to look perhaps more forward than it was. If he keeps running on it, makes a massive difference.
Free kick. Can the Russians have the final say? Perov, the captain. Oh, good work at the breakdown, England. Rodwell, the double round, and now there's no chase. An easy run in now for Oliver Lindsay Haig, so he's going to come away with a double for England. And the English book their place into the final 8 on day 2, the top 8. Pretty handy.
Yeah, giving the ball in space like that, he'll take it all day. Lovely little wrap around. James Rodwell just fixing that last man by stepping back inside. Give this man no more opportunity. Trying to make his legs look a little bit bigger by putting tape on them, but manages to stride down the left. He's a really good player. A lot of people have been wanting to see him commit to a Sevens programme for a number of years. He's been at Harlequins previously. This could be the year for Ollie Lindsay Haig to really shine.
And from out wide, Bibby is on the money. So full-time, comprehensive victory for England. 38 points to 7. England